Brain development is much more than a story about biology. From the earliest years, relationships with others play a key role in shaping how our brain grows and develops. Early relationships, where there is abuse and neglect, have a long-term impact on children. A brain that has adapted to survive in a threatening or unpredictable world may not work so well in an ordinary environment. This can create what is called latent vulnerability, where early abusive or neglectful experiences with carers put children at greater risk of experiencing mental health problems in the future. For these children, compared to their peers, common experiences like moving to a new school can feel more daunting and stressful. New faces can appear threatening, while positive social cues can be missed. It can be harder to negotiate new social situations and learn to trust new people. Even fun experiences like joining a new sports team can be challenging. Too much focus on potential threat cues can mean missing out on positive social cues such as a playful nudge. Or it causes an overreaction, which leads to an increased risk of conflict and sometimes violence. These reactions can increase the likelihood of generating new stressful events. It's harder to deal with everyday challenges when you feel unconfident and anxious inside, and harder to build and maintain relationships. Over time, this can mean a child loses friends and the support of adults, and so misses out on opportunities to grow and develop. This social thinning can increase the risk of mental health problems in the future.
Unhealed childhood trauma manifests itself as fixing others, people-pleasing, codependency, external validation needed, living on high alert, fear of abandonment, deprioritizing your own needs, need to prove themselves, tolerates abusive behavior, attracts narcissistic partners, and/or difficulty setting boundaries.
People who have a hard time with these boundaries, and for people who call themselves empaths, it's actually the same childhood experience. It's that in childhood you've got an unpredictable adult. And that unpredictable adult, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, presents enough of a risk to you that you have to be hyper-attuned, because every move they make or don't make has some implication for yourself. So what a lot of people don't like learning about empaths is that because of this traumatic type of a childhood experience, they learn how to pay hyper-attention and hyper-attune to anything in the room that is not okay. That's why you're never going to meet somebody who's got this thing going, who's like, you know, I just love being around people because I feel amazing. Because they're going to walk in the room, and instead of attuning to the person who's happy, they're going to attune to the person who's got the issue. Because that's where the risk is. In case you want to know why empaths always feel like that's why.
Hey. Hey. Is everything okay? What do you mean? I don't know. Are you mad at me? Just grabbing a drink. I don't know, I just get a vibe that you're upset. If you're upset, I would rather you just tell me. Nothing's wrong. Okay.
Hi, I'm a licensed therapist, and here are 3 common signs that someone may have experienced trauma. So, the first sign is catastrophizing, or assuming that the worst possible thing is going to happen at any given time. And people who have experienced trauma might think this way because they have experienced the worst possible thing that could happen, and it left a permanent indentation on the way they think. The second thing is mind reading, or constantly trying to predict what other people around you are thinking. And people who have experienced trauma think this way because being able to predict what other people are thinking is a survival mechanism, and it's especially important if you've grown up in traumatic circumstances. And the third thing is magnifying the negative and minimizing the positive. People who have experienced trauma often think this way because people in their life projected that thinking onto them as they were growing up. If this type of thing is interesting to you, you can check out my book in my bio, and thank you so much for watching.
Here are some signs that an adult may have never healed their childhood wounds. They might be super easily irritable. They may cry for what seems like seemingly no reason. They might be really overprotective of their children. They may have a really negative self-image, and anytime you have a hard conversation with them, they instantly internalize it. They may be very all or nothing and have a really hard time seeing nuance in situations. They may not be able to communicate their own wants and needs with those around them. And they may have a hard time expressing their emotions and instead are very easily to shut down or become very, very anxious. Do you know anyone like this? If so, follow me for more.
I've been trying in vain to hold on. No matter what I say, keeping you close.